Gearboard presents the top 5 best board games. Let's get started with a list. Starting off our list at number 1, Pandemic Legacy, Season 0. Pandemic Legacy games have been my favorite experiences. Since they can only be played through once and then go into the trash, it's hard to rank them against more traditional games. But getting 15 to 20 plays for your or so investment is surely worth it. And Pandemic Legacy Season 0 may be my favorite yet. It's set roughly during the Cold War before the events of the rest of the series. Rather than battling disease cubes, you'll be dealing with Russian agents. I don't want to say too much and spoil anything about it, but suffice it to say that as the story progresses, things continue to change. At number 2, Rallyman GT. Rallyman GT is a racing game where players are, well, racing. The gameplay uses a system of dice with a press your luck mechanic that helps keep the turns tense. This was a game where I played it once and then immediately went out and bought all the expansions for it. There are now different cars you can drive and an unlimited way you can make the tracks. I lost track of how many times I've played this one since I got it, probably would have been more had this not been the year that it was, but it's a ton of fun with lots of strategic decision to make. At number 3, Marvel United. When I backed this KS, I was this close to canceling at the last minute. And while we only got the base game in 2020, I can't wait to get the rest of the content for Marvel United. The gameplay is decidedly simple. Play a card and do the actions on that card and the actions of the card played before you. This allows the team of superheroes to work together and form a cohesive strategy to defeat whichever villain they happen to be dealing with. And each of the base game's 3 villains feels very different. Ultron will have you running around like crazy dealing with drones, while Taskmaster will be scheming and making big moves you must interrupt. At number 4, Lost Ruins of Arnak. Publisher Czech Games Edition did a great job with Lost Ruins of Arnak. This one not only looks fantastic but has some really engaging gameplay. Players will be channeling their inner Indiana Jones as they head out on expeditions into a lost civilization. Lost Ruins of Arnak combines worker placement, deck building, and resource management into a seamless experience that offers many paths to victory. In my review, I didn't have very many bad things to say about Lost Ruins of Arnak, and it's one I've gotten to the table quite often since it arrived. At number 5, Dune Imperium. I don't know much about Dune. I tried reading the book and fell asleep a lot. Never saw the original movie. I'm excited for the new movie because what a cast. However, my lack of Dune knowledge didn't stop me from loving this board game. Designed by Paul Denon, who you may be familiar with from Clank, this is another take on mixing deck building with other mechanisms. Before you reveal your hand and take a pretty standard deck building turn, you can play a card to place a worker. Each card in Dune Imperium will only allow you to claim certain spots though.